Hello guys and welcome to this video, and in this video we are going to go over 1.1 index laws. So let's get into it. So there are 4 rules which we need to look at when we're dealing with indices. Okay, so the first rule would be something like this. So we have a to the power of m times a to the power of n. When we have two numbers like this where they have the same base number but they're being multiplied with different indices, then what we do is it would be a m plus n. Okay, so an example of this would be, let's say I have 5 to the power of 2 times by 5 to the power of 4. Then if we're to simplify it down, it would be 5 to the power of 2 plus 4, which is 6. Okay, the next rule we need to learn is what happens if we're dividing with the same base but different exponents. Okay, different powers. So in that case, then it would be a m divided by a n, and that would equal a m take away n. Okay, so in that case, let's say we have 7 to the power of 8, and that is divided by 7 to the power of 5. Then it would be 7 to the power of 8 minus 5, so just 7 to the power of 3. Okay, another rule we need to learn is if we have something like this where we have a to the power of m, and that is being all raised to the power of n, then for this question it would just be a m times n. Okay, so you just multiply the powers together in this sense. So for example, if we had something like 2 to the power of 3, and then that was all raised to the power of, let's say, 6, for example, then if we had to simplify this down, it would just be 2, and then it'll be 3 times 6, so it would just be 2 to the power of 18. Okay. So the last rule we need to learn is if we have something like this, where we have 2 different values and they're all being raised to a power. So in this case, we have a times b to the power of n, then this would be a n times b to the n. And an example of this, the main way we would use is if we're dealing with algebra, such as like with an x value. Let's say we have 4x, and that is all being raised to the power of 3, for example. Then in this case, if we simplify it down, it will be 4 to the power of 3 times x to the power of 3. And then you can even simplify that down even more, which will give you 64x to the power of 3. Okay, so if we go through some questions now, okay, let's start off with something like this. So we have 4p cubed, and then that is divided by 2p. So how do we do a question like this? Very simple. We just treat the normal numbers with each other, we treat them with each other, and then we treat the letters also together. So we deal with the 4 and the 2 first. So 4 divided by 2 is just 2. And then we have the p to the power of 3, that's divided by p. So you can think of it as p to the power of 3 divided by p to the power of 1. Okay, that's how you can think of it. It makes it easier for you, and that will give us p squared. So we know that in this answer here, we would get 2p squared. Okay, another question we can deal with, let's do 9x squared, and that is times by 3x squared cubed. Okay, so this question here, well, first things first, let's deal with those brackets. Okay, so that will give us 9x squared times by 3. And remember that rule we learned earlier, that when we have something like this, where we have something is being raised to a power, then it is the same as saying, as just multiplying those powers together. So we just do 2 times 3. So we know that will be x to the power of 6. So we can just put x to the power of 6 in there. And now we have 9x squared times 3x to the power of 6. And if we work that one out, 9 times 3 is 27. And then we have the x to the power of 2 times x to the power of 6. So remember, when we're multiplying numbers with the same base, different indices, index values, then we just plus them. So that would be x, and then 2 plus 6 gives us 8, okay? Okay, let's try this question here. So we have 2a to the power of 3 divided by 3a squared times by 6a to the power of 5. So this question, again, it doesn't matter which way you work it out. Using BIDMAS, it doesn't matter between division and multiplication. So I'm going to do 2a to the power of 3 times by the 6a to the power of 5 first, because that way I don't end up with a fraction. Okay, so if I do the 2a to the power of 3 times the 6a to the 5, then 2 times 6 is 12. A to the power of 3 times by a to the power of 5 is a to the power of 3 plus 5. So that would be a to the power of 8. And then we still need to divide by 3a squared. So now if we do that, well, 12 divided by 3 is 4. A to the power of 8 divided by a squared means that we need to subtract the indice values from each other, which means it will be 4a to the power of 6. So for this question, we have 6x to the power of 4 plus 10x to the power of 6, all divided by 2x. So for this type of question, what we need to do to be able to simplify it down is we need to split up the fraction into 2 parts. So the first bit will be 6x to the power of 4 divided by 2x plus 10x to the power of 6, and that is also divided by 2x, okay? And now we have it in a form where we can simplify it down, so that's what we're going to do. So for the first one, for 6x to the power of 4 divided by 2x, then 6 divided by 2 is 3. And x to the power of 4 divided by x, that's the same as saying x to the power of 4 divided by x to the power of 1. So that would be 3x to the power of 3. And for the second part, for the 10x to the power of 6 divided by 2x, then it's just 10 divided by 2, which is 5. And then x to the power of 6 divided by x would simply just give us 5x to the power of 5. So for this answer, it will be 3x to the power of 3 plus 5x to the power of 5. Okay, so for this question, we do the same principle. So we have 9x to the power of 5 minus 5x to the power of 3, all divided by 3x. So we do the exact same thing. We split up the fraction. So we get 9x to the power of 5 divided by 3x minus 5x to the power of 3 divided by 3x. So if we start this off, we would get 9 divided by 3, which is 3. We get an x to the power of 5 divided by x, which is going to be x to the power of 4. And now we have a minus 5 divided by 3. We can't do anything with that, so we're just going to leave that as a fraction. So it'll stay as a minus 5 over 3. And then we have an x to the power of 3 divided by x, which will be x squared, okay? And then that will be that question. It will be 3x to the power of 4 minus 5 over 3 x squared, okay? And that will end this video. Just going over 1.1, just going over the index laws. We're going to go over every single chapter in the book. So next lesson will be 1.2 and then 1.3 and vice versa until we get through all of Pure 1. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you on the next.